Oh boy. Oh boy, you guys know what that means. Well, it's true, everyone. I've been spoiled. There's more chibi anime characters. It's now proven. Worst intro ever. That was actually really good. I like that. And I'm excited. I'm excited we're finally at the halfway point and people are telling me it gets pretty interesting here. See, we can go to the official website yet again. Or we can start a new game. Good morning, please enjoy this game with its new game master. However, the game has already reached its climax. The culprit has already been cornered and it's only a matter of time before the end. You should be able to use this clearer perspective to spot something. The difficulty is fairly easy. What could possibly fool you now? I guess that's not totally unfair. Well, then again, I don't exactly know. Oh yes, once again, the story's fake. Just because your grandma's name is Beatrice doesn't mean she's murdered 18 people on an island. Oh, darn it. I do live outside of Japan. I'm not allowed to upload it to YouTube. Well, series over, guys. That's why no one's ever made a blind series of the whole thing. Oh, I noticed right away when trying to adjust the volume that there's some really nice fade effects there. Let's hopefully see if we can get the volume down soon.
殺したらそなたが歪めるだろうその表情が楽しいからの他に何の理由が必要なのか
Good old friend Beatrice is back to murdering again.
ほらほら目をつむらずにちゃんと見ろよほらほらほらほら魔法だよ家具だよそなたがどんなにわらわや魔法の存在を否定しようともほらほらほらほらほらほら悪いなバトラー結構面白かったぜしかしお師匠様の言う通りにしてみたんだが本当に結構いいとこまで行けたな何でもツンツンと残虐を尽くした後に程よくへたれて出れてみせると好感度ってやつが大幅アップするんだろ
So if I remember correctly, the very last thing they did game-wise was they were yelling at each other, and Battler took down Beatrice with the blue truth. That lonely tone was the sound of the desolate wind blowing by. The color of glittering flower petals on the rose bushes was that of gold. The group of gold butterflies, which had once danced through this gold rose garden like fluttering rose petals, could no longer be seen anywhere. The master of the Golden Land is the Golden Witch Beatrice. She could be called inhumane and cruel, arrogant and outrageous, and also naive and simple. That laugh of hers, which lost its grace more and more the longer it continued, could no longer be heard. The Golden Witch Beatrice sat like a doll resting in a deck chair adorned as beautifully as the golden rose garden. She wasn't relaxing there. Her eyes were empty. She didn't respond to any questions. Even so, she was not permitted to sleep. Beatrice sat like a doll. I don't know. The portraits seem to be a lot closer now. Which I don't necessarily think is a bad thing, but they do, everything seems bigger. It's all bigger. Her hair was down and Virgilia was carefully fixing it up with a comb. If she had been complaining about this and that regarding her hairstyle, then it would have been clear that she was the usual Beto. However, she made no response, and showed no reaction. So instead it only looked like Virgilia was combing the golden hair of a large doll. Alongside them there was a table. On it was a chessboard, along with a mix of black and white pieces in an all-out battle. However, something about this setup looked different from normal chess. It might have been a game similar to chess, but not identical. And on the other side, sitting back in his chair as he contemplated his next move, was a young man. The one sitting next to Battler! No, it is Battler. No, perhaps he wasn't thinking of his next move. Every once in a while he would change the positions of the pieces, reconsidering the situation each time he changed it. Maybe he was reconstructing previous arrangements, trying to discover the thought process behind those moves. In the past, Kienzo the Ushirimiya family had once likened learning chessboard arrangements to taking a journey through the thoughts of old masters. Ushirimiya Battler was on a journey in search of the Golden Witch's thought process, which had led her to create this arrangement and make these moves. Battler took a black piece which should have been moved forward, and returned it to its original place, sighing deeply. Battler's pieces were white. However, on that chessboard, Battler's side was the black encampment. He was reconstructing that arrangement, trying to play Beto's side.
お前の指し手は、やればやるほどに理解できねえぜ。
Even Battler didn't expect that Beto would respond to that statement. No, thinking that there might still be a chance of her responding. He had spoken that as though talking to himself. Who are you? Are you Beatrice? Your hair is different. Beto's eyes reflected nothing, and her mouth told nothing. After begging him to kill her, the Golden Witch had become a corpse which had given up on living. She wasn't sleeping. She could not step down from this game and was therefore forbidden to sleep. So she must have heard. However, the words probably hadn't reached her heart. Right now, the Golden Witch could not sneer at Battler's moves, nor would she praise them or belittle them. Beatrice was no longer anything more than a living doll. Even so, she would glance at him every once in a while. It would be an empty glance, but a glance nonetheless. Sometimes she would seem to make some sort of gesture, or even move her lips. However, her movements were never able to communicate anything to Battler.
どうやったらこの局面でこの指し手になるわけだ。わけがわからねえんだよ。お前の指し手はよ。
ベアとバトラ君が話しかけていますよ。
なんとか言えよ。クスクスとかゲラゲラとか。いつもの黄色い笑いでいいから。
Can it be believed? That shrill laugh of Beto's will never be heard again. However, even if she couldn't answer, his voice surely reached her. Battler had spoken because he believed this. So he said the same thing one more time.
どうやったらこの局面でこの指し手になるわけだ。わけがわからねえぜ。お前の指し手はよ。
この子の考えることはわけがわかりませんか？
Virgilia answered in her disciple's stead. Up to this point, she had done her best to avoid speaking for Beto. After all, there was a chance that Beto would respond in some way, and Virgilia didn't want to be the one to steal that chance away. So Battler would have to bear with the silence until Beto herself answered. Virgilia could no longer bear to watch Battler like this. Furthermore, Battler wanted to have a conversation with Virgilia. They believed that this would reach Beto's heart.
ああ、さっぱりだな。ベアとの立場になって、こうして駒を動かせば動かすほどにわからなくなる。
A serial murder following an epitaph. With that as a victory condition, I tried reconstructing the arrangement from the perspective of the witch's side. But I just couldn't make it fit with Beto's moves. In past arrangements, I could see several incomprehensible moves that clearly conflicted with that victory condition.
さっぱりわからねえ。こいつの思考を探る旅路はあまりに険しすぎるぜ。
でもあなたは投げ出さないのですね。
ああ、約束した。
Kill me. Let me die.
俺はこいつを安らかに死なせてやると約束した。そしてそれは俺にしかできない。
Beto's right ankle was bound with a heavy cold steel shackle. It wasn't tied to anything, so it didn't restrict her movement. However, it symbolized restriction. It was a visualization of the restriction that prevented her from leaving the game without either victory or loss. And the shackle was probably hurting her. The mercilessly cold shackle tormented her over and over inside her waking dream. So no relief appeared in her empty expression. Her eyelids would sometimes tremble like she was having a bad dream, and every once in a while she would let out a pained gasp. Unless I win, Beto will never be released from the curse that prevents her from sleeping peacefully.
良いのですか？第5のゲームはもう始まっているようですよ。
興味ね。
Why should I take part in any game without Beto as an opponent? If that's the only alternative, then reconstructing previous arrangements while taking a journey in search of Bito's thought process is a much better use of my time. Is it maybe... See, I'm looking at these. Are the character models? Or, not... What am I looking for? Yeah. Whatever. The character designs, whatever. Are they, have they been redone for these games? Because they look a little different. Which makes me think maybe they were redrawn.
依存ある？ないわよね。
依存だらけよ。ベアとは戦いを放棄して人事不正。ベアとの不先輩でゲームオーバーでしょ。
確かにベアとはいろいろとあったんで、今はちょっぴりノックアウト気味。でも戦う気力を失ったわけじゃない。だからつまり私は介助役ってわけ。わかる？
Bito was lying down in the deck chair, almost as though she was sleeping. However, she wasn't sleeping. And she wasn't awake either. She was nothing more than a living doll that had given up on victory, who had asked Battler to perform her last rites, and who had surrendered everything. Of course, if everyone just sat around, the next game, the 5th game, would not be prepared. So Lambda Delta had succeeded Bito as the next game master, and proclaimed that she would prepare the next game.
ふざけるな。これは俺とベアとのゲームだぞ。お前ら、どこの誰か知らねえが、勝手に
You
話を
dang
進めるんじゃ
kids,
ね
get
え。
out of my game!
あんたに意見は求めてないわ。どうすんのベル？受けるの？受けないの？
いいわ。あんたが引き継ぎなさい。
なんだと？ふざけるな！お前ら何者か知らねえが、俺とベアとを無視して勝手に話を進めるんじゃねえ。
落ち着きなさいよ。確かにプレイヤーが変われば察しても変わる。あんたにとっては戸惑うことも多いかもしれないけど、それでも大きなヒントになりうるでしょ？
知らねえよ。
Oh man, they did redo that. Look at that. They redid that art so much. Look at his angry face.
勝手なこと言って仕切ってんじゃね
え。ベアとのゲームを4つも繰り返して何もわからないんでしょ。
I feel just like Battler. I don't understand anything.
ならプレイヤーが変わるのは大きなヒントになると思うけれど。
大きなお世話だ。これはベアとが用意し、俺を対戦相手に指定した俺たちのゲームだ。どこから湧いてきたのかもしれないお前らにかき回されるのはごめんだ。
ならベアトを起こして次の準備をさせて。できる？
ベアトはしばらく起きねえよ。それに新しいゲームなんて必要ねえ。あいつがこれまでに出題してきた4つのゲームの譜面だけで十分だ。仮に第5のゲームがあるとしても、それはベアトが出題し、俺に挑むものだけで十分だ。
Wow, Battler. If I didn't know any better, maybe I thought you might like Bito there.
お前らには何の関係もない。
Getting a little defensive, Battler? Battler couldn't hide his irritation at these two witches called Lambda Delta and Vernkistel, who had shown up after the game started and who had started to try and continue it on their own. It looked like these witches were of an even higher rank than Bito. So high, in fact, that even Bito's teacher Virgilia couldn't even come close. Battler had the feeling that he'd seen these two several times before. However, this was the first time he had known their names and spoken to them directly.
ベアトを起こせず、あんたに次のゲームを準備もできない。だから私が次のゲームを用意するわけ。私たちはね、いつ正気を取り戻すかもわからないベアトにいつまでも付き合ってられるほど気が長くないの。ね、ベルン？
退屈はごめんなの。イライラするほどに。
Your patience is so good.
お前が退屈がろうが、俺たちは知ったこと。
まあまあ、このパーフェクトなラムダデルタ様に任せなさい。 私がゲームマスターを引き継ぐ。
Just because you speak in English doesn't make it perfect.
大丈夫よ。あんまり絶対完璧にはプレイしないわよ。
Spooky eyes.
ベアトっぽくわけのわかんないフェイクや尻尾、ボーナスヒントをいっぱい用意してあげる。ベアトの世界をより理解するための大きなヒントにしてあげるわよ。
Letting my voiceless emotions explode, I slammed the table hard. The two witches didn't flinch at all. One grinned. The other looked indifferent as though nothing had happened. The two of them just stared at me silently, as though they were reproaching me.
何？不満？あんたは私による第5のゲームを降りるっての？それって不先輩？
バトラは降りないわよ。もちろん第5のゲームにも参加するわ。
勝手に決めるんじゃねえ。お前らに俺は付き合わない。知ったことじゃない。
ならやっぱり不先輩ってことよね。このゲームは魔女側の勝ち。人間は屈服ってことでお開きでいいかしら。
降りるなら不先輩でゲーム終了だけどいいの？たった一人残された妹が、たった一人残された妹が。
Wow. Wow, you just hit right where it hurts. Wow, Burn. When Burn Castell mentioned Angie, Battler's expression changed instantly.
てめえ、エンジェのことを気安く口にするんじゃねえ。
あなたにこの私、奇跡の魔女ベルンカステルが味方しているからこそ、エンジェにはひょっとしたら家族が帰ってくるかもしれない奇跡の余地が残されてるのよ。あなたが自らそれを捨てて、エンジェの無限の未来全てを不幸なものに確定するのもまた私には一興だけれども。
I vaguely understood what she was saying. Until I win in Beto's game, I'll remain trapped in this bizarre world. And if I abandon that victory, then most certainly my parents and I will never return to Angie. For Angie's sake, even though I know that the witches are toying with me, I must keep on fighting.
くそ。
なにその不満そうな顔。自分の妹をグズグズのひき肉にされた怒り、もう忘れちゃったの？プチプチブチブチ、無数の焼けたペンチで引きちぎって。
See, I get what you're trying to do here, but I think you're just making Battler pretty upset.
今度はちゃんと真正面で見ないとダメ。
Burn Castell pointed the palm of her right hand upwards. As she did, a pale light gathered there, and some kind of blue glowing crystal appeared there. A scene was reflected on its sharp surface, but it wasn't the scene that surrounded them now. If you look deep into that crystal, that fragment, then you would probably learn what was reflected on there. If you stared at it, then you could surely see that scene where Angie gave up everything after 12 years of her life to finally reach her beloved brother, only to have her entire body torn to bits while she was still alive. A scene of her death throes. Angry Battler!
貴様。
Without thinking, he grabbed at her collar. But as soon as he touched that which made up her form, it disappeared like foam on the waves. And then, as naturally as though she had been there from the beginning, Burn Castell was leaning against a distant wall.
あなたがゲームを降りるなら、
She's got I love these expressions. Look at her face.
これはかけらでなく確定した現実になる。
She's got this like sheepish look to her face.
その未来を紡ぐのは私じゃないわ。 あなた自身よ。あなたが決めなさい。最愛の妹の未来をどうしたいのかを。
Battler's fist shook with anger. But even if he swung them down, he wouldn't be able to hit Bernkastel. This witch wouldn't even let someone pet her if she didn't wish for it, like a cat or a phantom. And she was telling the truth. For Angie's sake, I can't step down from this fight. Even if these unpleasant witches hijack the game board.
さすがベルン。脅し方もえぐいわね。そういうことよ、バトラー。あんたにはゲームを降りることなんて許されてないの。あんたもペアとも私たちの退屈を紛らわせるゲーム版の駒でしかない。あんたのそのわけのわかんない怒りやイラつきさえも私たちには退屈を紛らわす最高のお菓子。まあその程度の怒りじゃ駄菓子程度だけどね。
30円で2枚入ってるカレー味のポテトせんべい程度。
Curry flavored potato wafers. I thought the CG couldn't get worse. Spooky.
魔女とも
エンジェのためにも戦いなさい。そしてベアトのためにもでしょ。
In a way that was admonishing, or perhaps babying. And similar to the way something too sweet sometimes gives you a headache. Bernkastel tormented Battler and smiled. At this point in time, the host of this tea party, Beto, was absent. The guest witches were already making themselves at home.
どうすんの？後ろ宮バトラー。運命に屈しちゃう？降りちゃいなさいよ。魔女の駒にして遊ばれるなんてもうごめんなんでしょ？ベルンの駒は辛いわよ。きっとあんたもエンジェみたいに使い捨てにされるわよ。
あなたに降りる選択肢は与えてない。妹の未来のために戦い続けるの。私は味方よ。その未来にたどり着けるようあなたが勝利するまでサポートするわ。私が退屈するまで永遠に。
I can't let her provocation and... Ooh, that's a fancy word. Cajolery rile me up. I'm pretty sure I could figure out what that means, but let's do a quick Google search on that. Coaxing or flattering, attempting to persuade someone to do something. Yeah, that sounds about right. These witches know I get mad easily, and they're trying to take advantage of that. Battler withstood it all, and finally relaxed his clenched fists.
第5のゲームとやらが始めたいなら勝手にやればいい。好きにしろ。
好きにするわよ。あれれ、どこ行くのよ。
Even though Battler acknowledged this fifth game, he turned his back on them, which surprised Lambda Delta a bit.
お前がベアトの代役を務めるってんなら、そこのベルンカステルとかいう魔女が俺の代役を務めるのも勝手だろ。
道理ね。そうじゃないと不先輩になってしまう。
何よそれ。私が作る渾身のエピソード5をあんた無視するっての？
Episode 5.
失礼しちゃう失礼しちゃう。
バトラーはしばらく休憩するそうよ。それまでの間私がプレイヤーの代役を務める。それでどう？バトラー。
そうしやがれ。
なにラムダ。間抜けなバトラーじゃなくて私がプレイヤーだと遊んでくれないの？
え ないわ。ベルンと一緒に遊べて嬉しいわよ。さあさあ、遊びましょう遊びましょう。ラムダデルタ様の超ハイパーでキュートに可愛いエピソ
Just
ード
because you
5 を
use
一
English
緒
words
に遊
doesn't
びま
make
しょ
you
う
hyper
よ。
and cute.
一応ベアトの作った世界なのよ。世界観ぶち壊しにしてないでしょうね。
大丈夫だってば。私そういうのの空気は読める方なのよ。ちゃんとベアトっぽい世界観でもっと面白い物語に仕上げてみせたわ。バトラも休憩終わったら早く戻ってくるのよ。見逃すともったいないわよ。ベアトの秘密に迫れるようなボーナスヒントをたっぷり用意してるんだ
I
から。
could use some bonus hintos.
と見せかけてミスリード満載でますますに煙に巻く気なんだけどね。
Maybe I shouldn't then.
ちょっとこらバトラ、魔女の話聞いてんの？
Without answering, Battler disappeared into the darkness. After shrugging and cackling, the witches immediately started playing with the game board they had stolen from Beto.
あの魔女どもにベアとのゲームは理解できるのか？
I don't know if the timing on this is bad or not, but this is going to be our first stopping point. And I can almost just feel it being like a minute around the corner, but I think this is where we'll stop. I hope you guys enjoyed. I think I'll do maybe because I should explain what I'm talking about. So people were wanting an anime reactions video. I'll go ahead and do it. I'm probably gonna do it in terms of episode chunks. Like there's the anime only goes over the first 4 episodes. So I'll probably complete 1 episode's worth of the anime, and then I'll do like a reaction on episode 1, and then so on, so to speak. It's kind of confusing, but basically I'll do 1 on each of the 4 episodes. So yeah, I haven't watched it yet. I watched I watched the intro, the opening thing. That was about it. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time for some more Umineko. Have a good holiday. Bye!